Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about sex discrimination in the education system. Well, more so in the U.S. education system. Women make up over 50% of the U.S. population and over 49% of the U.S. workforce. They're graduating high school and entering law school at higher rates than men. They're also not in STEM jobs very much. They make up less than 25% of STEM jobs, even though the wage and gender gap is 33% smaller than comparable jobs. But to understand why there's a lack of women in these jobs, we must first understand the discrimination women face the minute their education begins. The gap in education becomes apparent at a very early age. From birth, girl infants are discouraged from taking risks. They're given toys that are more nurturing and relational in value. If you look here, when I looked up girls' toys in Google Images, all of them look like these, with like toy gardening tools, toy kitchenware, toy strollers pushing baby dolls around. They all pointed towards a domestic life in the future, which is not a bad lifestyle, but the media should not decide what girls can or cannot be. Now, when I looked up boys' toys, there were many spatial visualization skill ones, like the shapes that the boy is putting up here, and then there were ones that encouraged small motor skills, like the transportation vehicles. But none of those were shown for the girls. During K-12 education, girls are rewarded for being more docile and submissive, while boys are rewarded for being more arrogant and competitive. When teachers grade papers, they give more constructive criticism to boys and award girls for neatness and the appearance of their writing. This is not fair because girls do not get to develop the skills boys do, even though teachers say that boys need more attention in their work. Now, this translates into discrepancies in higher education and jobs. The fact is that men earn more than women at every educational level. If you look at this graph, you'll see that the blue is the females and the orange is the males. Women earn roughly a little more than half the males at every educational level, and the wage gap widens as the educational level increases. That's why women are more seen in the K-12 education area with lower pay and a more limited career path, while men are more seen in higher educational levels. When women aspire to do jobs that are traditionally done by men, like being an astronaut or a scientist or a doctor, they're seen as moving up. But if a boy wants to do a job that's traditionally feminine, like be a nurse or a librarian, they're ridiculed. And another reason women don't go into STEM jobs that much is because they're so underrepresented in history. I, for instance, have only heard of Marie Curie in the science field in textbooks, when I know for sure that there are other women who made a difference than just her. For instance, the reason most of you guys have cell phones today is because of a woman named Heidi Lamar. Besides being a successful Austrian actress, she developed a type of secret communication system to help fight against the Nazis in World War II, and helped develop a spread spectrum technology, which is the backbone of all cell phone technology today. And Rosalind Franklin is the main researcher and discoverer behind the structure of DNA models we see today. Except Winston and Crick saw her model and then published it before her, and they're the ones in the textbooks now without even a mention of credit to her. So usually by this time in high school, women drop out of high-level science and math classes because they feel so out of place. That and the stereotype that women are naturally bad at science and math doesn't help. This is entirely untrue. In fact, in a study with Lego TC Logo, they found that when they included girls in groups and gave them key positions of power, they showed a lot more interest in the subject, and they interacted with boys more. They shared their expertise with the Legos and told people what to do, which might seem bossy, but to boys it's more assertive. If they hadn't been put into those key positions, they probably would have been more quiet and let the boys take the roles. So this shows that interest in science and technology has more to do with inclusion than gender. Girls have also been proven to learn things differently than boys. Curricula need to change to include real-life dilemmas and social context, because it's been shown that girls learn better when they see how things apply to real life versus in theory. The wage gap in gender can only decrease if we apply to girls as well as boys in teaching. After all, how are we as a country going to progress and compete with other countries when we ourselves are denying the majority of the U.S. opportunities to teach? Thank you for your